Do you have constitutional questions? Get constitutional answers. We'll be answering your constitutional questions live, so get ready to call in now. Are you a prosecutor, law enforcement officer, or local government employee? Want to make sure you are executing the laws in a constitutional manner? Are you a city council member, township board member, or state legislator? Want to ensure the laws you pass are constitutional? Perhaps you're a citizen who wants to know the proper limits on government and the protections for your God-given liberties. Regardless of your role, call me, Constitutional Attorney Catherine Henry, with your constitutional questions during our live call-in show now at the phone number listed on the screen. And remember, together we can restore freedom.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Hello, guys. Oh, my camera is all kinds of messed up today. I'm not sure what happened. Somebody must have bumped my camera. All right. It is what it is. I'll just try to sit at the far corner of my desk and see if I can still reach everything. Hello, everyone. All right, so today it's going to be a little different. You might have noticed, well, first of all, that I didn't schedule this ahead of time. I was just hoping that those of you who are used to me going live at noon on the second Tuesday of the month would just pop on and say hi and check out the information that we'll be talking about today. So at any rate, today is a little different in that regard. It's also a little different in the title and description. And I'm just going to go right on into it. So for those of you who might be new and just stumbling across this live stream, I'm Constitutional Attorney Catherine Henry, and I am the founder of Restore Freedom. There's a whole background that goes along with that if you'd like more information about really who I am and what I do and why and what made the story all begin. You can go to restorefreedomkh.com and check that all out. That's restorefreedomkh.com. So in the meantime, though, what I want to do, and let me do this. Yeah, I'm going to switch it up to that. So I'm not going to put the phone number on the screen. If there's some of you that would like to call in, go ahead and let me know in the live chat that you'd like to call in, and I'll get all that I'll get everything open. I don't have any of that open right now. We didn't have anybody call in last time. Everybody was just asking questions in the live chat, so it's kind of a pain in the butt to open all the phone call stuff and have that running smoothly. It's also a further drag on the internet and on my computer, which is 4 years old. So in computer day and age, it's kind of ancient. But anyway, yeah, first thing I'm going to do is kind of give you an update, like I said in the description, of where I'm at health-wise, and then therefore give you an update on what that means for Restore Freedom and what I do here. And I apologize, guys. I don't normally wear my glasses, but I am today, and I'm noticing there's a huge glare, and hopefully that's not too distracting for you guys. You can't really just look me in the eye with the glare that's going on. But at any rate, and then I do want to answer your constitutional questions if we have time to do so after that. So, all right. So to start us off with, to let you know about where I'm at, health-wise, well, I'm wearing my Go Fight Cure shirt today because I do have extensive high-grade breast cancer, and I had an initial surgery that attempted to take out the cancer. It was a lumpectomy. It wasn't really showing up on the scans, though, so even though they took 3 times as much as they thought initially, it would be. They didn't get clear margins, and there was a lot of cancer left. And so at this point, double mastectomy is what I'm facing, and that is 2 days from today, less than 48 hours. I will be in surgery for that. So actually today, in an hour and a half, I have to leave here to go meet with the medical oncologist for the first time. And the last few weeks have been meeting with cancer surgeon and a plastic surgeon and having genetic testing and an MRI, CBC, and of course, the journey started with ultrasound and all kinds of other stuff. There's been a lot of appointments here and there and everywhere in between. And so that's kind of where I'm at. I do want to let you guys know that for those of you who, many of you have been, commenting or texting me or emailing me different suggestions of different medications or things to try, herbal things or otherwise. I am looking into all of that. And when I say all of that, any of you who know me, this will not be a surprise, but I have a spreadsheet with drop downs. I have a spreadsheet customized with drop downs just for this cancer research, and it's got hundreds of the modalities of different treatments that you guys have recommended. And I'm going through and researching painstakingly. And unfortunately, it's taking me quite a long time. So those of you, everybody who reaches out to me, friends, relatives, whatever, who are more natural minded in medicine, they're like, oh, well, you got to do this. This is the one thing. You got to do this. You got to take Rick Simpson oil, or you got to do, the mushroom stuff, or you got to do this, or you got to do that. And I'm telling you guys, you all feel passionate about your particular recommendation, but I need to research it and figure out what is best for me. And since you all have different recommendations, and there's literally hundreds that are on this spreadsheet now, I can't just start. And I did start. I started something my sister suggested immediately. I started something that my good friend Cindy, who's also a breast cancer survivor, suggested immediately. There's a few things that I did start, but I need to research the rest of. So at any rate, I am listening. I am open ears to those of you who are trying to reach out and help and who care. And I appreciate all that. But do know that even if something does work for cancer in general, it doesn't necessarily work for breast cancer. And if it works for breast cancer, it doesn't necessarily work for my particular ductal carcinoma. And if it does work for ductal carcinoma, perhaps it only works for ones that are estrogen sensitive, or triple negative, or whatever. There's all kinds of different things. So that's those of us who are not doctors need to not play doctors on TV or with friends, and we need to take a recommendation and just leave it at that and realize that there's a lot of research and specificity that goes into that. And I have OCD, and I don't normally say things like this, but I'm highly intelligent, so I'm going to do the research and I'm going to read the scientific and medical background of all that stuff and figure out what is best for me and my particular thing. So at any rate, so I'm still doing all that. I don't want you guys to feel like I'm ignoring the recommendations that you guys have. In fact, I'm going to keep today's show as short as I possibly can for me, trying to answer your questions and whatever. Of course, I'm known to talk. But I'm going to try to do that because I want to try to finish up my first round of complete research to be able to walk into the medical oncologist's office with, the first 10 or 20 different things that you guys have recommended that appear to be a good fit for me, and to have that conversation. Because from what I hear, this particular medical oncologist is not a typical run-of-the-mill type of oncologist, and will actually listen to all kinds of different remedies and treatments and things like that. And so I'm looking forward to having an honest conversation with her about the ones that you guys have all suggested that appear to be a good match for me. And so anyway, I have a binder I've printed off just for that, and I have quite a few pages to read before my appointment today, to finish figuring out which ones I want to start asking her about, which ones seem the most helpful that I need to ask her about today. So that's where I'm at with that. Um, Okay, and a reminder, if you guys have a question, and Lori, if you're still in the chat, if you can show them an example of what a question is, write question in all caps. And then you don't have to write the actual question in all caps. You can use normal punctuation and capitalization there. But seeing the word question alerts me that you're talking to me and not just to each other. And so that's super helpful to me. I will say, I'm not that great about asking for help, but number one, if you can pray for me, I want clarity. I want to know that I am truly finding God's best design and plan for my particular health situation, and I'm doing the best for me and my family. And so if you could pray for that and pray for a quick recovery, I would be greatly appreciated. I am really upset about having a surgery where I'm going to have tubes and drains and all kinds of things, and I'm not going to be able to have a real shower for some indefinite period of time. And I'm not looking forward to that. So, if you can pray for that, I would appreciate it. I'd ask that you also pray for comfort and assurance for my husband as well as my kids, especially the two kids that live here, because I'm sure that it's hard. And my husband looked at me and said something while we were um, putting some flooring down the other day, and he said, out of the blue, he just said, um, I don't think it's all that often that a 10-year-old has to look at her mom and see her going through this kind of breast cancer and this kind of major surgery like this at this young age. He said, it's just not fair. And the way he said it, though, just kind of like smacked me in the face. And it's outside of my control. There's nothing I can do. But it broke my heart that, it's one thing for our 20-year-old children to, they're adults. Even though one still lives here, he's an adult and he's adulting and he's, has a job and he's pursuing his education and he's doing different things, right? He's not dependent on me. But the other one is 10. So it's just a different scenario. And anyway, so prayer would be helpful. I do see I'm starting to have questions. So if you want to keep those going, I'm going to scroll and get back to those in just a second here. In fact, let me see. There, we're just going to leave the Constitution as the supreme law of the land on top, just so I could see that there's going ahead with comments there. Anyway, so I also could use your help, Lori, or Foshin if you happen to be in the chat, or Mike if you're in the chat. I could use one of your guys' help in copying and pasting the GoFundMe link. And so if you, for you guys, if you could help spread the word, even if you have not even $1 to donate yourself, but you have social media and you're able to, text or post on your own social media or share in some way a post about our GoFundMe. My surgery this Thursday is estimated to cost $178,000 or $179,000. And we have a 20% coinsurance, and every single provider is fighting over us. And I've never had this, I never heard of this in my 41 years of living, where they expect you to bring thousands of dollars of payment to the day of service. And they're saying, just today I signed the medical oncology paperwork, and their financial policy is that everything is due, your finances, it's all due at the time of service. Excuse me, you need to get in line with my insurance. That's why I have insurance. They will process it in order that the claims are received. And then, it will tell me in the end what the contractual discount is, and then what my percentage or co-insurance is after that. But no, it's been fighting tooth and nail with every single one of these providers. It's been absolutely absurd. I've already received thousands of dollars of medical bills, and the first surgery alone was, well over $30,000. The facility fee was $28,500. But of course, there's the surgical oncologist and the anesthesiologist and the radiologist that reads the results afterwards, and all kinds of other things, right? The pathology reports. So well over 30,000 just for that surgery, not to mention the MRIs and the mammograms and the ultrasounds and everything else. And so at any rate, with this appointment today, and then the appointment, or the surgery rather, in 2 days from now, which is going to be $179,000. We just have a lot of bills coming in that are challenging. So if you are able to help donate to that, thank you, Lori, for sharing that. If you are able to help donate to that GoFundMe at all, even if it's $5, $10, whatever you're able to do to help, I would greatly appreciate it, because I'll tell you what, for my entire life, I've always given to other people. And I went into law school specifically to help other people. As a single mom, I went to law school just to help other people, and I did not take a high paying job right from the right out of the gate and do that. No, I did divorce work, custody, parenting time, collections, bankruptcies, you name it, the things of everyday people, setting up wills and basic estate planning. No trusts, because most people don't need a trust, and it's just a waste of money, and attorneys get rich, and the people go broke. I've been there helping people long before COVID, and then COVID happened, and I dropped basically every ability to make money financially out of helping people, because there were too many people that needed help all at once. And so that's what I want to continue doing, and educating people and helping people, government officials, in doing the right thing, as well as average everyday citizens who are just trying to navigate life and how government is improperly interfering with it. So at any rate, anything that you could do to help me would be greatly appreciated, because this has been costing us money for me to pay for the software, to pay for the newsletter stuff, which I haven't sent a newsletter out now in about a month, and I will be getting back to that as soon as I can, but it's been very overwhelming right now. Um, so at any rate, it's costing us thousands of dollars every year out of pocket, for me to do this work for you. And um, so I want to be able to continue doing that, but I also have to make sure I can pay my bills. And now it's a lot of medical bills. So it's the same small, tiny pot of funds in our tiny little house here down in Florida that we, live modestly and within our means, and sold our two newer cars that still had warranty, just as the market was high enough so that we could trade in. And my husband drives an '08 car, and I went down to a 2016 with 150,000 miles on it, just to be financially, as stable as possible. And anyway, so I want you to know that I'm being a good steward with the resources that I have, but I still need help. So at any rate, um, those are the two big asks that I have for you today. So with that being said, Restore Freedom, like I said, I haven't been sending out the newsletters. I have had several new people signing up for the newsletters, and I don't mean to let you down. I do plan on getting back into that. But the thing is, aside from these videos, I had been doing the Tuesday true or false questions, and then at 10 o'clock at night, the answer. I had been doing the Wednesday way to get involved challenges, and the Friday freedom fighting tools, and a variety of other posts about legal updates here and there. And anytime that I had a chance to upload any briefs or motions or things that I'd been filing in various cases, I had been doing that and then making a post about it so you could see those. I am um, 3 months behind on sharing with you legal documents that I have submitted to appellate courts. So I haven't even posted them all to my website yet, so I need to get time to do that. I also haven't had really a lot of time or mental wherewithal to get the Wednesday way to get involved challenges going, the Tuesday true or false questions, the Friday freedom fighting tools. And so I haven't had a lot of new content, because it takes a lot of, mental awareness and ability to focus and think. And from day to day, I mean, every day has been consumed with this kind of the treatment, and now the school year started, and I homeschool, and so there's all that fun stuff, getting her curriculum up and running, and whatever, all kinds of things, right? Some other family issues that we were having, and individuals that we're caring for, and all kinds of other things going on. So at any rate, I do plan on getting the Restore Freedom newsletter up and running, and more content that's available and helpful to you as soon as possible. But it may be as much as another month from now. I'm hoping it's not. Hopefully by next week I'll be recovering from surgery, but I'll still be able to sit at my desk and come up with some good content for you. But just be patient with me. As far as the show, hopefully in 2 weeks from today, I will be able to do the next show. But if not, then October, I plan to get right back into it. And, we had a ton of interest the first several of these call in shows and then hadn't had a bunch afterwards. So I'm not sure the 2, 3 most recent ones, we haven't had a lot of people calling in. So I'm not sure if this is really the best avenue to help people, or if I should try to go to those shorter, 10-minute videos where I'm giving you updates on, the Trump trial or election things. I just gave a presentation to, I don't know, 50, 60 people. I have no idea how many were in the room last Thursday night about the 6 um, ballot questions that are on the Florida ballot for November for constitutional amendments, giving people some information, some food for thought, thinking about the legal implications. And I plan to upload that video once I get it from the host. But, I plan to do, more of that kind of stuff when I can. And so give me your feedback. Do you think these kinds of the call-in videos where people can physically call in, ask questions, and those of you can, put the question mark and all that, right in the live chat if that's helpful. I also, because I did not get enough fundraising to be able to renew the paid streaming service with Streamlabs, I can't multi-stream. And I didn't have anybody reach out to show me exactly how to do the multi-streaming through OBS. And I looked and I found some stuff, and there was a Japanese site, and I had some issues trying to download it and get it open and all kinds of other fun stuff. So at any rate, if somebody wants to help me and you know about how to do that and set that up through OBS, that'd be awesome. Let me know. Reach out, contact at restorefreedomkh.com. But in the meantime, I'm not doing live on Facebook or Rumble right now because, or not even uploading to Facebook, just because of only being able to do one at a time. So, all right, I think that's all the Restore Freedom. I'm just trying to think, were there any other updates? Gosh, I feel like there would be another Restore Freedom update, but that's really all I can remember anyway off the top of my head. And I apologize. I was cold in here and now I'm hot. So it went from being really cold to super hot in my office and I'm sweating. So let me scroll and see if I have anything that says questions. Oh, Spicy Chemist said, did you get my text about the OBS multi-stream software add-on? I did not get a text about that. I will restart the office phone and see if there's some issue with that. I mean, it's kind of like VoIP. It's a Google Voice number, and that's our main office number. So it shouldn't have anything to do with the phone actually needing to be restarted, but I will do that. If not, if you can resend that, that would be awesome. So yes. Okay. Um, okay. I'm just trying to see. Yes, that example question. How is this exactly? I'm not sure if that was really a question about how something is, but yes, that's what it should look like. How is government getting away with all this overreach? Yes, that would be an example of how to do the question. Um, okay, so Bruce, or should I say Batman? Bruce Wayne is asking, statute of limitations for deprivation of rights. Next question is, what is the harm? What if the harm is ongoing even after the after the limit has been reached? So statute of limitations, it really depends for deprivation of rights because you have state level claims and you have federal claims. So a deprivation of rights, for example, there's the criminal context, 18 USC section 241. 242 is not applicable unless you're talking about race-based discrimination. But for the average person, we're talking about 18 USC section 241, and that's a criminal situation. And so there's not really a civil cause of action to pursue there. But you have, 42 USC section 1983 doesn't stand alone. That's a federal cause of action that does not stand alone. You have to have some other underlying right that has been violated. And so you kind of pair that with 42 USC section 1983 to then get civil damages essentially for that. And so the underlying statute, is usually what controls with the passage of time, the statute of limitations. But I don't have all those dates and timeframes memorized. The other thing you need to keep in mind too is, like I said at the beginning, you have state statute of limitations and a federal statute of limitations for depending on which kinds of claims you're trying to pursue. And so you have, for example, in Michigan, the last time I looked, the statute of limitations against government entities in the state was much shorter, because you have different notices you have to file, and sometimes as soon as 6 months after the occurrence. So it's just, you really need to look at, as soon as something happens to you, you need to look at, okay, what are the options, and when does the time start ticking, and how long does it tick before it expires? So again, those are each important questions, because when the time starts ticking, or if there's something that pauses that time clock, that's related to tolling. And so your statute of limitations might be tolled or paused if you have certain things going on. So for example, with me, with Allegan, it started November 3rd, 2020, but I had a case ongoing where they were pursuing me and overwhelming me with criminal matters, and hearings and appeal situations for almost 2 full years. So the statute of limitations would be tolled while the underlying matter was going, because I couldn't have begun the civil side while that criminal side was still going. So at any rate, that's just an example of something that would be tolling it, but there might be other things that go along with it, depending on what your specific claim is. So again, it's a complicated attorney answer, unfortunately, but that's actually not because I'm an attorney. That's because the laws are written by horrible people that are super complex and convoluted and complicated, and nothing is straightforward in the law. So, okay, let's see. Let's see. See, I was talking about you guys commenting with different things that I need to be trying and doing, and suggestions, and you're still doing it even in here. If my husband is watching, he'll be able to copy and paste and throw them into the spreadsheet because he has access to that. But it doesn't let me copy and paste things out of here. I can see. Some of the comments you guys make. Nick, okay, I think you're lying to me today. I think before you've told me that I look good on the videos, but today I'm going to be honest. I think I don't look that good. I think I look better in person than I do on video right now, but honestly, that's why I wore the glasses today, because I was like, well, if you guys told me how tired and run down I looked last time, then maybe I'll change it up and have glasses, and it'll just give that different depth, and I won't look so tired and run down, but we'll see. But thank you for the compliment. I do appreciate that. Okay, so I will be meeting a whole bunch of new friends in the near future. Not sure what that is. So, okay, yes, please do hit the like button, share, subscribe, get the notifications, all that fun stuff. Yeah, the medical field in general doesn't like to fix the problems, but at any rate. Let's see. Yes, if you can also, I'm going to ask for another prayer while I'm looking through the comments for questions that you guys have for me. If you could pray for Lori. Lori had been just a huge, huge, there's not even a word to describe it. I wouldn't have survived 2020 and 2021 for sure without Lori. My time blends a little bit after 2021, so I don't know where in there things started to change a bit, but for sure, I could tell you those 2 years, I wouldn't have survived without Lori and her help. And when we were still in Michigan, I mean, she was at my house like half the time, and we spent the holidays together, not chilling and hanging out, of course, sitting in my office working on legal briefs and fighting the government tyranny and everything else. So anyway, she's had a lot of stuff going on in her life too, and that's led her to being unable to really help me with much for most of this year, and I believe last year. Like I said, time's been kind of blurring a little bit, but basically last year and a half or so, maybe more. And so, if you guys can pray for her situation, because selfishly, I would love to be able to have her help back. She's someone that makes the whole thing work a lot better. I'm able to provide a lot better content and get it out to you and do all kinds of things in a more efficient fashion when she's able to join me in that fight. So, if you guys can pray for her in that regard so she can get back at it with me, that would be amazing. Um, okay. Oh, it's doing that thing where it's jumping again. Okay. Shoot, yes. So, um, this is the live call-in, but Mr. J, it looks like 3 minutes ago you were just asking about if this is the live call-in show. I did change it so the thumbnail and the title and all that didn't say it was a live call-in show, because last week we actually had tons of people asking questions via live chat, but nobody called in. And so today, with all that I have going on and a limited time frame, I just didn't even mess around with getting the live call-in software stuff set up today. But if there is a continued interest in me doing the actual live call-ins, I will certainly do that. Just let me know, guys. Send an email to contact@restorefreedomkh.com and let me know your thoughts on doing the live call-ins versus me just doing live shows where I answer questions through the live chat, or even just uploading shorter videos for little tidbits here and there. Let me know what your preference is. And if I have the time, I might even do a survey for you guys to fill out and let me know what your thoughts are. So, thank you for the prayers from Tennessee. Let's see. I jumped again. I'm trying to make sure I don't skip any if there are questions. Let's see. Um, Somebody also had sent me, I don't remember what it was, something, because I've had a few people send me some stuff. So I don't remember what this, it came just a day or two ago, and it didn't say who it was from, other than it was ordered from InfoWars, I think. Um, and I highly doubt InfoWars as a company is just sending me something on their own accord for free. They don't know who I am. So somebody contacted them and ordered it and had it sent to me, but it didn't say who it's from or what the thoughts were with that. And so if you are the one that sent that, please reach out to me, contact@restorefreedomkh.com, and let me know what that's all about and who you are and everything, because I want to make sure I'm on the same page with you about that. So anyway, let's see. My comments to help are blocked here, so I'm gonna bolt. See y'all later. Six Oaks Farm. I'm not sure what comments are blocked. I see a few comments, not very big, from you, and I mean they're coming through, so I'm not sure. I'm not sure if even that comment itself wasn't blocked. If it's the links itself, yes, I don't know where the setting is, but apparently there's a setting somewhere. I don't know if it's just a YouTube general setting, but unless you're a moderator, you can't have direct links. But I'm not even sure if all the moderators on the channel are able to post direct links. I know Lori is, but besides that, I don't know. So I apologize if there was something you were trying to share with people that you couldn't share because of that. I don't see any questions here, which is crazy because there's a lot of you commenting in there, but I'm not seeing a lot of questions. So, oh, it's okay. Lori said it's a YouTube general setting. So, good. I didn't break it myself. Good to know. I am an attorney, not a social media all-star by any stretch of the imagination. So, yeah, I will gladly say what things I know and don't know. Um, so, yes, I answered all the questions and topics that I saw so far in the chat. I don't see any others. I'm going to wait just a second. But in the meantime, what I want to do is I want to encourage you. This is in lieu of a Wednesday way to get involved challenge. What I want you to do is to check out your state's ballot. You probably have to go to your Secretary of State website, and check out what all is going to be on your ballot. Who, you definitely need to know the who, but you need to know the what. Are there ballot proposals, especially the statewide ballot proposals, but even if there's ones that are just specific to your municipality, millages or taxes or whatever, you need to know what's on there. So my challenge to you this week, and I believe all the ballots are supposed to be finalized in most states this week, because I think that there are some states that are already starting early voting, which is crazy to me. But anyway, check out your ballot and figure out what are the things on your ballot this coming November. What are the things you're being asked to vote for? Especially state constitutional amendments. Don't take those lightly. And basically, a general rule of thumb, if you don't understand a state constitutional amendment or even a charter amendment, if you don't understand, and a charter amendment would be if there's something on your ballot to modify your municipality's charter or local constitution. But if you have a state constitutional amendment or a charter amendment and you don't understand the wording, you don't really understand what's going on, you don't understand why they would want to do it, the safe answer is to vote no. If you don't understand it, vote no, because yes, the wording of all state constitutions could be better. So there's always room for improvement there. But if you are voting yes on something that you don't understand, you could be opening Pandora's box of all kinds of horrible, awful things. And quite frankly, more times than not, it's not freedom that's on the ballot. It's government controlled tyranny and or evil. That's what's by and large on the ballot these days. So just be very, very careful. Even things that are seemingly administrative in nature or logistical or trying to fix some sort of thing that you're like, oh, okay, well, I guess so, sure, I don't it seems fine to me. If you don't understand the true implications of what is in that ballot proposal, do not vote yes. Vote no. If you have to, abstain. But quite frankly, if you're going to pick a yes or no, pick no if you don't understand it. Okay, so with that being said, I'm going to double check. Some believe that the video is hindered by government in places such as DMV or children due to whatever those entities deem time, place, and manner. Okay, so Rats to the Moon is asking, time, place, and manner means during work hours in public areas and peacefully. Is this correct? So generally speaking, it seems like you might be asking about First Amendment auditing. Assuming that's correct, you have time, place, and manner restrictions that are tied to freedom of speech. But if you're talking really about First Amendment auditing, you have a freedom of speech aspect, but you have a freedom of the press aspect. And so a case that I'm intimately involved in that's happening in the Middle District of Florida, federal district courts right now, the legal argument being provided by the defense, one of them anyway, is that time, place, and manner restrictions are irrelevant because the two individuals involved in that case were video recording. They were not live streaming, I don't believe, but rather they were recording, and they were not speaking. They didn't speak unless spoken to, quite frankly. If somebody asked them a question or was otherwise speaking with them, they didn't ignore them, they spoke to them. but they didn't go in there to speak. They were not forcing speech on anyone, which is one of the main reasons why you have a time, place, and manner restriction. Because when you are speaking to people, and if you are forcing speech on someone, especially in a government setting, where they might be needing to go in for, government services, to pay a bill or to speak with their representative or something, and your speech then might be done in a manner to interfere with the public's ability to utilize those public services, that's a problem. So that's the main reason why we need to understand the time, place, and manner restrictions. But if you are a First Amendment auditor and you are simply going in there and silently recording, and like I said, speaking to people if they speak to you, just normal conversation. But if you're just seeing how they do things, you're watching the operations, how long do people have to wait in line? Whatever the various things that you might be looking for. What informational pamphlets are out for people to take? What do the signs say on the wall? If you're doing those kinds of things, then that's not, it's irrelevant what time, place, and manner restrictions would be. But what your question was getting at, and unfortunately I'm scrolling too far, so you're asking about during work hours, only in public areas and peacefully, whether the time, place, or manner restriction applies or not. Those are the general things you want to do. Yes, you're only allowed to record if it's a place that you are generally allowed to be during a time you're generally allowed to be there. So for example, if it's an organization that's privately owned but open to the general public, you cannot be criminally trespassed if you are, whether it's open to the public, whether it's owned privately or owned by the government. As long as it's open to the general public and you are only going in areas open to the general public, number one. Number two, you are going there during the time that it is open to the general public. And number two, whatever you are doing is not stopping other people from their ability to do their own business there, then you are not doing anything wrong. So again, that does not just apply to government settings, that applies to private entities as well. If they are open to the general public, you have the right to be there, just like every other member of the general public. So hopefully that explains the answer to that. Okay, and I'm also hoping it's not going to... Okay, so I think we got all of the questions answered. So yeah, so I answered that. That seems to be all the rest of the questions. Good questions. Okay, yep, and you were talking about First Amendment auditing, so I'm glad that I was on the same page with you there. So yeah, so make sure you guys Lori, you cracked me up. She says Catherine is very, in capital letters, familiar with trespassing charges. Yes, oh yes, and multiple rounds of appeals on criminal trespassing charges. Absolutely. And not just related to the state of Michigan, but no, in general, across all 50 states here in the United States, with case law. The air quotes are around that because there's no such thing as case law. It's case precedent and it only has limited value. But anyway, even if you speak their language and use case precedent, the case precedent is pretty damn clear. As long as it is open to the general public during the time that you are there, and you are not stopping other members of the general public from utilizing that service or whatever, then you cannot be criminally trespassed. So, awesome. Okay, so Spicy Chemist, thank you for sending that email. I will look forward to checking that in the next couple days here. Well, I might get through my oncology appointment and my surgery first and then get back into the OBS, but I appreciate you sending that. All right, so with that being said, I'm going to go ahead and sign out for today. So hopefully if you had a question, you were able to get in there and ask it. And like I said, hang in there with me. Come back with all of your questions that you have of a legal or constitutional nature 2 weeks from today. I'm going to keep it at the 12 p.m. time. I have decided, I think I announced this last show, but I've decided that it's just not feasible for me with all that I have going on. It's much more stressful on me to do that 7 p.m. show. I was trying to do that so I could get more of you on the West Coast, as well as those of you who just had more availability in the evenings. But basically, I just want to make sure I'm also doing what's best for me. So, anyway, bring your questions 2 weeks from today at noon. And we will still be streaming on YouTube. Maybe eventually I'll figure out how to multi-stream and get us back on Facebook and Rumble, but if not, it'll still be YouTube. And do please reach out and let me know if you think there's a lot of benefit in continuing to do the live call-in shows where people can actually physically call in like we have been doing until today. Or if you think doing it the way we did it today, where I'm just answering questions that show up in the live chat, works best. Or third option, if you think that it would be better for me to just, do short little 10-minute videos and put them on all the platforms, answering, just little topics about things that are going on, how-to videos like I had started to do at the beginning of season 3, or some updates on different legal matters. So let me know. Reach out by email, contact@restorefreedomkh.com with those answers and preferences, so I can make sure I'm being most efficient and helping you guys in your own journey to restore freedom. And with that being said, please check out that GoFundMe link if you have the ability to help, donate, or share that link to others, as well as to hit that like, subscribe, and share button for today's video and our channel in general. And with that being said, it's been a pleasure to see you all today, and I will look forward to next time. Thanks, guys.
Our work to restore freedom would not be possible without support from people just like you. From the various software and hardware needed to the legal research materials, every dollar you can donate helps. Make sure to like and share this video too. And remember to follow and subscribe and click that notification button. Together, we can restore freedom.